days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
Because I'm speaking this into existence. President Kamala Harris, one of the number one asks, because we keep saying, what should we ask? And I keep asking for what's the agenda, and I'm not getting anything back. So I'm gonna write one. I'm gonna pass it around. Everyone's gonna add to it. We may end up with 900 pages and a manifesto. I'm good with that, by the way. Shout out to Project 2025. Did y'all take down the PDF? I'm glad I downloaded it. You will not, this will go down in infamy. And a lot of us have a copy of it. And I think they thought, oh, them Negroes don't read. And on a good day, they might be right. So let's put it in. No one's going to read 900 pages. But you effed around, you about to find out, because when lives are on the line, people will do some amazing things, including read 900 pages. So thank you for underestimating. Thank you for FAAFO. Thank you. You're in the finding out period. And I feel your terror. And I'm not going to mock you other than to say, keep it going. We're going to get into all of the nefarious ways in which you're trying to besmirch the character and reputation of President Kamala Harris, but not on our watch, because now it's personal. Now it's personal. And you're about to find out what that feels like, because when you deal with only 15% of the population, that also then has $1 trillion in buying power, that's not somebody to ignore. And not just that, but drives culture. Drives culture. Did you just see what happened in the music realm with somebody effing around? Destroyed careers. Like, there are other people that can't even pop their heads up because of a song. Are you kidding me? This is so much more important, and I'm looking forward to it. But I decided, I put down some things. I've shared it with some people. Going, keep sharing. They share it. The way the word got out about all of the meetings that are happening. There's a white woman meeting tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We'll talk about that in a second. But I said, first, let's create a national database for bad cops. Sean Grayson should be number one. let's have a database of bad cops. Put Darren Wilson in there. Let's let me see, the police officer who killed Tamir Rice. What's his name? Timothy Loman. Let's throw him in there. Because he kept getting jobs. He killed a 12-year-old in 3 seconds and kept getting hired until people were like, hey, no, he killed a child. He doesn't get in Pennsylvania to keep getting a job in policing. No, he should never have a gun. But we need a database, much like, the sex offender registry. Well, Lawrence Taylor just got arrested because he didn't tell them that he moved, because every time you move as a sex offender, they need to know where you move so they can put you in the registry so we can certified pedophile, certified. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to search where the bad cops. That's the number one. That we don't have a national database is an abomination. All of us should be able to search in our counties, police officers who, to make sure. And then if you're a mayor, or a county person or a sheriff, state office, you can go look and go, no, you are. And not only should we have a registry, because people can slip under the, slip through, but you should never be able to be a police officer again, even if found not guilty, because there's a depraved abandon or reckless abandon of human life. You don't care about human life if you could shoot a woman in the face. If you can shoot a 12-year-old, you don't deserve to be a police officer, even if you weren't indicted. That should be zero tolerance. Just like if you're a sex offender or a drug dealer, you can't be around children. There should be some parameters. Why do you have a license to have a gun and take our lives? So that's number one. National database, like a sex offender registry. And I do think there may be a Venn diagram that has them both in the middle. As I mentioned, disqualify these bad actors from ever being in law enforcement. I mean, not even mall cop, not security, Nothing. Nothing that requires you to have a gun. Matter of fact, you should lose your right to have a gun, because to whom much is given, much is required. And because you are given, literally granted with the ability to take human life with impunity, the consequences for doing so in this horrific, egregious way should also be equal and opposite. You should not even be able to carry a gun. And I think that would make you think twice, right? If I do this and I can't take a can't shoot, because it was thought there. He said out his mouth, "I'm gonna shoot you in the face, in the effing face." Like it was nasty. No, you don't get to have a gun, Chief. And we should hold unions, not the city, because here's what happens: they pay that money out in these places, St. Louis, Ferguson, where. And it's we, the taxpayer, that is funding the payout. No, we're part of the victims here. No. You don't get to take my taxpayer money and pay the victims' families. That should come out of the police budget, the police unions budget, because you know what? Then unions will have to pay attention, and other police officers too, because if that's coming out of my pension and out of my ability to make money, no, Chief, Matter of fact, this cretin stopped his partner from giving CPR to Sonia Massey. She was still alive when he shot her in the face, and he prevented, much the way Derek Chauvin and those other three cretins stopped EMTs from coming, much the way we saw with Eric Garner. You know, there was this kind of blue wall of resistance around providing help to somebody who is technically, this is what I learned, we are all innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. If we're innocent, do we not get medical attention? Or the way they shot up Elijah McClain with ketamine, like that should never happen. Police, the young man was unarmed and he told you he was different, and then you went and you authorized somebody to shoot that boy with ketamine, and he died. He should be alive, playing the violin for cats. But because we have a system that is broken and horrific, full of people like this, and you can't tell me most cops are good. We can have that argument, because good people don't let bad people represent them. They speak up. No, that person does not represent me. No. Matter of fact, Carrie Horn from Buffalo tried to stop her partner from brutalizing a citizen, and she lost her career. She just settled a couple of years ago, but she was off the force and in a bad way for like 10, 15 years, because as a police officer, she had the audacity to stop one of her other fellow police officers from doing something wrong. That should be the norm, not the exception. There should be no punishment for that. You should be rewarded. There should be a reward system for people who turn in people who are doing wrong things, because to whom much is given, much is required. And our lives are on the line, and human life should be way more valuable than the career of a police officer. Human life should be way more valuable. We should value human life. And at the very least, yes, there's some bad people out there who deserve to be in jail, who do horrible things. That wasn't Sonia Massey. That wasn't Sandra Bland. That wasn't Tamir Rice. That wasn't Elijah McClain. That wasn't Terrence Stansbury. There are a lot of horrible people out there that deserve to be in jail. But they should also get due process under the law. At least that's what I was taught. So hold them unions accountable. Get rid of qualified immunity. We just saw the Supreme Court give qualified immunity basically to the sitting president. Basically, if you're a sitting president, you can do anything you want. And they did that, the Supreme Court. That was mostly Trump's Supreme Court. 6 members on that Supreme Court, Trump people. He sat 3, the other 3, and I'm going to put John Roberts over there, Clarence Thomas and Alito. This is a gang of people who care not about the law. They take bribes. They hang upside down flags. They're not even patriotic. Amy Coney Barrett didn't even try a case. She don't even know the law. Half the time, Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson teaching her on the job. Who gets to do that? Who gets to sit on a job for life, the Supreme Court, and don't know what the hell is going on? Well, welcome to America. Well, that should all change, and we should make it change. But I digress. The Supreme Court just gave basically qualified immunity to the president. And this president, that president, the president that was there before Joe Biden, said when he gets in, he's going to grant that same immunity to the police. They should be covered. Those of you, and it's in Project 2025 as well, but Donald Trump said out of his mouth, police officers should be covered. So in the case of Sonia Massey, where we might want to go to the streets, Donald J. Trump requested during the summer of George Floyd, can we shoot them? Can we shoot the protesters? He asked, and his people said no. This time they'll say yes. There'll be no judicial recourse. That coupled with the seating of all of those judges in different places, there's really no place to run. There's no place. I have rights. No, you won't have rights. And you probably don't have rights now. But we're trying to get our rights back. And I think this would be a great step to get rid of qualified immunity, which is a type of legal immunity that protects a government official from lawsuits alleging that the official violated a plaintiff's rights, only allowing suits where officials violated a clearly established statutory or constitutional right, like George Floyd being denied his right to breathe. But the man that choked Eric Garner to death, Pantaleo is his name. He should be in the registry as well. Walking free, probably on a police force somewhere in Staten Island or someplace. Florida, maybe. It's where people run now. Shout out to Florida, and I feel so bad for the people who were there before, but there's a lot of folk running to Florida because they know, hey, stand your ground, and we got a governor that's going to back us, and if Trump is in office, oh, Katie barred the door. So I just think those are some issues, and this is how we should be thinking. I'm angry, so I got busy writing. This is what I do. I'm like, okay, we need a national registry. I need to be able to type in somebody's name. Uh-oh, yep, that person's bad. Oh, they're on a police force somewhere? Where are they? We should be able to, like, okay, they just moved. Oh, hell no. And then we can mobilize. But yelling into the void about how horrible this is and going to the streets and marching in absence of an actual plan is exhausting because there's a lot of energy in marching and protesting. But we didn't get a George Floyd bill. I mean, we didn't get too many things from the summer of 2020. A lot of people got money, though. So let me pause. A lot of institutions got money. Where'd that money go? And this is going to be part of another plan, but we should be tracking where these dollars go because there's also, it feels like kind of like a payoff to shut up. So we just gave you $20 million. You can't hold me accountable. No. So we should know who's getting the dollars, right? And most of these institutions are nonprofits. So that's public record. And if they haven't filed their record, we should know that too. I'm about to get busy. Getting in my journalistic bag. I haven't been in it in a while, but let's go. Because once November happens and once we have a president, no matter who it is, this is still on the table. We can still organize and mobilize. But I promise you, a President Harris, a lot easier to get this stuff done. And she's a prosecutor. You know, Keith Ellison, we just talked to Andrea, Attorney General Andrea Campbell from Massachusetts, who, you know, we talked about the role of the AG. We just, you know, Keith Ellison and his fam, you know, we talked about the masterful way in which he prosecuted those officers who are all in jail because there was an AG who understood what was at stake and did his job to perfection. But now it's time, you know, we'll have a president who knows what that looks like. So when we offer that as a plan and have the bill sponsored by one or two, co-sponsored, maybe even bipartisan, because, you know, if you're real good, you can get somebody on board for something that makes sense. And then push that through, she's going to sign that into law. She will, because public pressure right now has a bandwagon riding off the rails to support her. You got every group in their mama for Kamala Harris. Every group in their mama, like white women. Tomorrow is tomorrow, and shout out again to Shannon Watts. Let's get her on the show. Tomorrow, there's a link to register. Tonight, there's a link to donate. And she said, white women, answer the call. All caps, exclamation point. Show up for Kamala Harris's virtual meeting. July 25th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. All are welcome to attend.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow. looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.